Hi everybody and welcome to Make It Monday. Like we talked about on Friday, I am outside in my yard and that is where we're going to do the first part of our project today. So today we're going to use that white paper and that pencil and we are going to do shadow tracing. Today is a perfect day for that. The sun is shining bright. So all we have to do now is find a spot where we are going to do our activity. Half the fun of this is finding the things that you're going to trace. You walk around and you can hold your paper and you can see, even just by holding it up here, shadows are appearing on my paper. The idea is to find something that's going to be intriguing. I'm actually going to set up by the Saskatoonberry tree here just because it's leaving some nice shadows and I can sit on my chair, so that will be nice and comfy for me. I found a lot of places through the yard where I could actually sit on the ground and put the paper down. If that works for you, go ahead and do that. We're just going to find some shapes, trace it, and see what they turn out like. Okay, I'm just going to pause while I set up for the next section of the video. Okay, I'm back. So I have my chair set up over here, and I've got the tree. I'm going to take my paper, and I've actually got my journal, so I'm going to put it over the back of the chair until I find a spot that I like the looks of. And you see all of the shadows appearing on the paper, and we're going to trace around those. Let's find the spot that we are happy with. Okay, there we go. I'm going to sit down and do some tracing now. I've adjusted it a bit, and we're just going to go all along our lines. And it creates the most incredible patterns. As you walk around looking for shadows and things to trace, you're going to find some of them become quite detailed. And depending on the look that you want, some of those might be very incredible. We want to make sure it's not too windy because otherwise our shadows keep moving. Okay, I'm going to set up in another area and we're going to do another one. Okay, so just set up at my table. I've got a piece of grass and I've set my journal in behind and it's making fabulous shadows on there. So I'm just going to see if I can trace those quickly, and that'll be just a little bit different type of pattern. I like the simplicity of this one and the straight lines. I think that's going to make a beautiful, beautiful shadow print. When we're done tracing this one, I'm going to take my last break and we're going to go back inside and I am going to show you how you can do this same project using items inside the house. It's a beautiful day outside today, but it is hot. So if this is something that you want to make a number of pieces on a really hot day like this, you might want to be inside. Okay, oh, I love this one. Okay, and yeah, we're still getting some shadows. It's hard to see with the bright light. Love this one. Okay, we'll see you inside. Okay, we're inside now. This is actually harder than I thought it was going to be inside. Okay, so all I did is I went and got a spoon and fork from my cutlery drawer and put it in a glass. I'm going to use that for my shadows. You could use anything around the house, a plant or any shape that you find interesting. The next thing you need is to put your paper underneath, and you need a light source. You can use a lamp, a flashlight. I'm actually going to use my phone and I just turn my flashlight on. Now in order to make a shadow, you need your light source to come from just over top. Now If you happen to be doing this earlier in the morning, you will actually be able to just use a bright sunshiny window, which is what I should have done. It would have made the whole thing so much easier. And I'm just going to move this around till I find placement on the paper that I like the look of my shadow. You see, as you move your fork and spoon or your item closer to your light source, your image becomes smaller on the paper. When you move it further away, it gets larger. Okay, that's kind of unique looking. And again, we're just going to go through and trace our shape. Now with this one, you can actually, a little bit of a wiggly hand here. Okay. Oh well, that's okay. It'll just add a different look to it. Go as slow as you need. Now again, for this project, how you hold your pencil will make a difference. Some of us can hold this way and trace along, and that'll work just fine. We can actually have somebody steady and hold our hand with us. A lady that I work with, I actually hold the pencil and then she directs my hand. So again, depending on what you want to have it look like, I'm just going to move this out of the way and you can see my image. We can leave it like that, or we can turn our paper around and we can do the same thing on the other side, have it overlapping or change the look of it. I might take and just put the end of the spoon over here and trace that. Shadow tracing. Lots of different ways to do it, lots of different items, and the fun is going out and finding all the unique things that you can use to make patterns on your paper and trace. I'm going to continue putting some patterns on here, and I'm going to go back outside and see if I can find some other patterns to trace. Remember, if you have a time to do this project, I would love to see what it turns out like. You can go back over to the Cosmopolitan Industries Facebook page, and underneath in the comment section right below on Facebook, you can actually take and post a picture of the items that you traced and how your items turned out and what it looked like. You can leave it like this, or you can go back in and shade the positive spaces. So the positive space is all the area that casts the shadow, and then leave the negative space, which is all that background space natural, and create a really unique pencil shading sketch. Have a great week, everybody.